Hey, what's up YouTube? You're watching Team APS. Paul here. In today's video, we're going to talk about spectators in Yu-Gi-Oh! Are they good? Are they bad? What do we think of them? Let's get started. So spectators, every game, sort of competitive game at least, tends to have them. People who sort of stand on the sidelines and watch. And, that's innocent enough, right? Like it's just people who are watching the game. They're interested and, it's kind of entertaining, two people having a mental battle of wills in Yu-Gi-Oh! Cool and fun. However, there is a bit of a problem that tends to arise. I mean, a couple really. But the first major one is a lot of people don't like spectators because they feel that they kind of interrupt the game a lot. That's the first thing. There are spectators who really interrupt the game, and sometimes it can be like, spectators who are obnoxious and literally will just like yell something out, like yell out a misplay or yell out what's in someone's hand or, things like that, kind of stuff like that. Like, have you ever had a situation where like, your opponent has like people behind them and you kind of have people behind you, and like if they draw certain cards, the people in the background go, whoa, and it's like, that's just kind of annoying. At least, I think it's pretty annoying. And I think most people would agree no one really likes it. It kind of can give away a strategy or give away a good hand or an out or a play. And that's really no fun because then it kind of takes away from the neutral element of the game, the sort of just willpower fight between you and your opponent. But, it's not like it's something that'll necessarily go away, but I'll get to that later. The second thing that people don't like with spectators is actual backseat duelists. I've heard this term thrown out a lot, or however you want to call it, but people who stand behind the other guy and just kind of basically tell him what to do. And that's actually kind of one of the more like annoying ones. I see a lot of people get really frustrated with that. I get really frustrated with that. The people who really is just the person who's like just sitting behind your opponent and just saying like, hey, play this, activate this, he won't do anything, just set this and end, like it'll be fine, It's pretty annoying too. It really interferes. And then I also hate the kind who jump in and try to like give rulings or explain how something's supposed to go, and it's really kind of none of their business. And then there's God, this is turning into a rant. And then they're the kind who touch cards. Oh, that's really annoying. I actually really hate those ones. The people who just like will actually pick up your cards and like oh, what do you have set, like what's the top card in your deck or whatever. And that's really annoying. Most people really don't like their cards being touched, and it tends to be people who are doing it kind of without permission, just looking at everything in your hand, everything that's set, just picking up like your cards in your grave or your extra deck or something, and really just looking through them. And that happens a lot at the local level, and it's pretty freaking annoying. So yeah, and then I guess there's one more. And then there's just the people who, even if they don't touch cards, the people who just like stand over your game and breathe like right into the mic, like I'm doing now. No, but the people who really stand over the game and just like, just they're like got their hands like on the table, just breathing over your game and like looking down at like what's going on, and it's just like super annoying because like, get out of my face, you know what I'm saying? So spectators, what can or should be done about them? Interestingly enough, there's actually an article on TCGplayer, and this isn't actually me like plugging, it's legitimately an interesting article that's relative to this video, published about a month ago now, about spectators and the problems that they pose for judges, where there's kind of this this balance between the spectators disrupt the game state and interrupt players and distract, versus like can they be helpful for explaining if something goes wrong, because according to the policy docs, you are supposed to notify a judge if you see something that goes wrong in a game. You're not supposed to interrupt and say anything about it to the players, but you are supposed to notify a judge. And so it's kind of like tricky because spectators tend not to have the composure to really do that. They'll tend to just sort of shout something out or point something out, And so it's really weird, and it makes me just mixed on spectators in general. Like, are they good or bad? Is there a way to regulate them? I feel like at large events, it tends to, I imagine it would be really annoying for like higher level players, people who are at those top tables a lot, to have the super annoying, people like just crowding your match, literally crowding your match. I imagine that would be super annoying, and it happens all the time. I see it at YCS and regionals and stuff like that. So you know, I'm all for kind of like some regulation, some crowd control. I think that, you know, spectators really should have to like step back, like, you know, at a set distance, you know, type of thing. I think that, you know, I'm really strict on this type of stuff, and I feel like maybe that's kind of a bit of my problem with it is, because I do like tournaments for video games and other stuff like that at my school, and so I kind of have to like deal with a lot of these issues, and I'm very like so mixed about the crowd because, you know, of how it can influence the game. Now, Yu-Gi-Oh! Is a card game, so like it's different than say a video game. A video game is usually just like cheering and stuff like that. It can change maybe how a person plays, but like not really. But with Yu-Gi-Oh! It's a little bit different because in Yu-Gi-Oh! You know, if your opponent or your opponent is getting like a visual or audio cues as to like what's in someone's hand or what's set or something like that, then that's a real problem. Or even if like you made a misplay and it gives your opponent some more information, I just think that that's really disruptive, and you know, it should be punished kind of accordingly. I mean, I know that there are like some policies that can like, you know, have spectators be removed and stuff like that, but I don't really see it enforced a whole lot. So it's a complicated issue and not one that I necessarily have like a firm stance on, but I'm generally kind of against disruptive spectators, or at least, you know, even just close by spectators, because no one likes, you know, backseat dueling. No one likes someone breathing over their table, touching their cards, anything like that. So, or I imagine no one likes it. So I just kind of want to know what you guys think. Like, is this an issue at your locals? How do you deal with it? What do you think of it? How should it be dealt with at larger events where it can be a little bit tougher to regulate and such things? So I thought it would be an interesting thing to talk about. You know, it kind of just goes, I don't want to say swept under the rug, but it's kind of just one of those minor annoyances that nobody really addresses. We're all too busy, you know, talking about some new deck or, you know, who won some event. But, you know, it's one of the little things, the microcosms of Yu-Gi-Oh! That go unnoticed. So what do you think of spectators? Leave it in the comments. Let's talk about them. You think they're good? You think they're bad? What do we do? And that's basically the video for today. Before I go though, I've got to plug a couple of things. So check out TCGplayer, my sponsor. They sponsor all of our product openings, and I'm really thankful to them for that. Second thing is, if you want a cool playmat, buy a Team APS one. You can get them at Inked Gaming. They're only $20, which I think is actually a really great price for the quality that it is. It's designed by Tombox from MSTGV. It's got all your favorite people on it, and I get a little bit of the money from when you buy one, not even all that much. So if you want to support, that's a good thing to do. And last but not least, the other day, if you haven't seen it already, we got a package from Wormwood Gaming. Wormwood Gaming, they make deck boxes and other gaming supplies, but you know, I'm really into these deck boxes. Wooden deck boxes from different species of wood. They're really, really nice products, so give them a look. And if you use the coupon code APS, you get free shipping on your order. You can even get engravings. Ooh, like this awesome thing that they sent to us. So yeah, that's all. Follow me on social media, subscribe for more Yu-Gi-Oh! Remember to tell me what you think of spectators in the comments, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Bye guys.